Hot weather can be absolutely deadly for dogs like Arnold, and if he suffered from heat stroke, his risk of dying is going to be 60%. But these 5 action steps are going to reduce his chance of dying by half. And my final tip is going to almost guarantee his survival. And the first thing we're going to do at the first sign of heat stroke is we're going to stop what we're doing. We're going to take our dog, move them into the shade, and we're going to offer them a drink. And maintaining that hydration is so important in hot weather, because being dehydrated, it compromises your dog's ability to lose heat by themselves through panting, and it makes the damage that heat stroke can cause so much worse. Now, of course, if your dog is suffering from severe heat stroke already, it may be that they don't want to drink, and we also need to take extra steps to cool them even faster. So if they're not drinking, we can take this drinking water. I've just used my lunchbox that I may be carrying with me when I'm out and about. But we should also always be carrying some form of water, because the next thing we're going to do is we're going to soak their coat. So let's say Arnold here was in much worse condition. He wasn't really able to drink. He wasn't doing much, not very responsive. We're going to take our drinking water and we're going to just wet him down and wet his coat, because what that is going to allow is that water to evaporate in the hot weather, and that's going to draw a lot of heat from his body. Now, if you don't have drinking water, you could use any other water source, as long as it's not too cool. It's important we don't use really cold water, because what that's going to do, it's going to constrict the blood vessels that are supplying the skin, and that's actually going to trap heat deeper within Arnold's body. Now, depending on your dog's coat, Arnold here, he's got quite a short coat. That's not going to hold a lot of water. It's going to quickly evaporate and he's going to dry. So the next thing that we can do is actually take a wet towel, wet blanket. Here, I've just got a wet t-shirt, and we can lie that over your dog. Again, that evaporation of the water from that cloth is going to cool down your dog. It's also going to last for a lot longer, giving a much longer cooling effect. So it can be difficult to remember exactly what steps to take in an emergency, which is why I have got a free downloadable card for you to print off and keep in your purse or wallet. It outlines these cooling steps, some CPR strategies, and other emergency techniques that are going to be essential if your dog suffers from any kind of emergency. You can find that link down in the description below. Now, if your dog suffers from heat stroke when you're at home, or maybe you're close to the shops, to the store, we can then actually use an ice pack. So that could be an ice pack, it could be some ice cubes. I've got a pack of frozen sweet corn here, frozen peas, whatever it is you have at hand. We're always going to want to wrap that in a cloth, in a t-shirt, just so you don't damage the skin due to the cold, kind of cold damage that freezes the skin. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to place that cold pack, that ice pack, either on your dog's neck or under their neck where their jugular vein and carotid artery are running. We can place it in their armpit, in their axilla, where there are again big blood vessels, or in their groin where you've got the really big femoral vessels. Now, those don't constrict in the same way the blood vessels in the skin do, so they're not going to have the detrimental effect of trapping heat within the body. They're going to be really effective at cooling the blood, the hot blood that's coming from the body's core. So we're going to place them there, wrapped in that cloth. We can change that location every 20 minutes. Again, we don't want that cold damage. And we also need to stop cooling our dog, actively removing that ice pack if your dog starts shivering. We should also stop any other cooling strategies that we're taking. So we can keep that ice pack there, and we can again cover Arnold here with that cold, wet blanket or t-shirt. And then to further supercharge that evaporative heat loss that we've got going on here, we want to try and get the air moving across Arnold. So that could be moving him into a more windy location. It's actually quite windy at the moment where I am. We could get a fan, we could turn on that heat pump, that air conditioning unit, and have that blowing over your dog if you're inside. Or better yet, you can turn on the air conditioning and open up the windows as you are driving your dog to the emergency vet clinic. And that is tip number 6. Taking your dog to the vet clinic within 90 minutes of showing signs of heat stroke has been shown to almost guarantee their survival, so speed is of the essence. But of course, it's better to prevent heat stroke in the first place, and these 11 steps will help you keep your dog cool so that they not only survive but thrive in the hottest day of summer. So make sure you tap on that video, and until then, I'm veterinarian Dr. Alex. This is Our Pets Health, because they're family.